So I'm here at my local high school, about to film a football game, filming for a couple different players that I'm putting together highlight reels of at the end of the season. And I'm just gonna walk you through a little bit of like what I do on game day. Let's get into it. So first thing is like just dress for the freaking cold because it's only gonna get colder. So I've got literally 2 pairs of pants on, a sweatshirt, a vest, and I'm gonna get a coat on.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the north end zone and welcome your West Side Pirates.
So before we get into this video, just real quick, when I was recording this game, I had a lav mic on, but it was under like a shirt, a sweatshirt, a vest, and a coat, and the audio that came from it is just absolutely horrid. I'm just gonna use the audio that came from the camera. I've got subtitles on this so that it's easier to understand what I'm saying, but we'll just keep on going with the video. I try to stay 20
First and 10 from the Pirate 29.
Until they get at the 30-ish, 20 or 30 yard line, and then I just go behind the end zone because I would hate for them to run past me and have a bunch of refs and other photographers or whatever be between me and the players as they get into the end zone. So I just prefer to be behind the end zone.
Off straight up the middles.
This would be so much easier if I had like a BTS guy, dude. But I'm trying to film a game and film me filming a game. Why do they play Crazy Train at every game, dude? I don't get that. I'm just gonna chill here until the team gets back to this side because sometimes you run up and down the field so long with them because they just keep on making plays both ways. And occasionally I just like to sit on one end of the field and see the action unfold from one end. There you go. Oh, the focus missed.
Cruz Sage takes the handoff.
It's cool being on the field, right? Closer to the ollie action, it gives you a unique look. But the thing about being down here is if there's players or coaches or refs between you and the guy who's making the play, it just you lose the good footage. It just becomes ruined because there's something in between you and the action. So yeah, the first thing that we got to talk about is why you're filming it. For these games specifically for West Side season, I've been hired by 2 players to go out and be at these games, get the good footage of their highlights, and then put together a highlight reel at the end of their season. Sometimes you'll get contracted out by the team specifically, different media outlets that have access to the games. I was only able to film BTS of myself shooting high school and not college. It's a lot harder to film myself in a college setting with a ton more people there, but literally all of these principles apply to college as well because it's just football but with bigger players and bigger budgets and bigger teams.
This is incomplete, intended for number 11, Trey Stone. Easton Green on the coverage reached up and knocked it away at the very end. That incompletion will bring up second down and 10. That looks like it'll be the last play of the first quarter.
Something to remember that I don't always do, and sometimes I forget, is like at the end of every quarter they switch which side of the field they're playing on. Sometimes they're like about to score a touchdown and then, first quarter ends, and so they like have to go to the other side, the other 10, and all of a sudden I'm 100 yards away from the action, and I'm just like, oh, crap. Now I gotta go to the other side of the field.
Taken down in the backfield, a good backfield tackle.
That was a good play. It's second quarter. Our team's up 14-0. It is a playoff
Third and 15
game
for the Dragons.
So we need to win this. Shoot. Oh. Interception. Let's go.
Crusade with the interception on the return back.
Number 18, Crusade, is one of the
give West
players
Side
that I do need to record.
great
So that was
field
good
position.
that I recorded that, even though it was on the wide lens.
First and 10.
Yeah, buddy. So there's 10 minutes left in the half. I'm actually just in my car, heating up a little bit before I have to go back out there for the rest of the game. The score right now is like 29-0. The rest of my body is pretty much fine, but my hands, I wish I could accurately describe how cold they feel. We're out here making it happen. So, I mean, I could just film like that, you know, and not have, like, my face lit up as much. But this little light that's illuminating me is this, I forget what it's called. It's like a lume cube or, yeah, it's a lume cube. And just a little pocket light. This is 1%.
lighten me up.
So let's go through the gear that I use. For the first like 2 years of me filming sports, I used a Canon R7 and a Sigma 70-200 lens. I loved it because the Canon R7 is a crop sensor, and so it actually gives me more reach. So instead of 70-200, it's like 110-300 or something like that. And in this game that I'm showing you the behind the scenes footage of, that's what I'm using, is that R7 70-200. So in the 2 or 3 state playoff and college football games that I filmed right after that game, I tried the R5C. I had an Atomos Ninja monitor on top, and I don't think I'll ever go back to the R7. It just makes such a huge difference to be able to see the display assist, which means that I'm seeing a live preview of what the footage is actually going to look like. You can use the display assist on the R7, but you can't do it with a Ninja. I've tried using the display assist on the R7 with a Ninja 5, but the Ninja 5 for some reason just transfers over the log footage. With the R5C, which is a more dedicated cinema camera, it's used to using external monitors like a Ninja more often. It actually transfers over the display assist. I just know straight out of camera this is what it's gonna look like. Also with that R7 and 70-200 setup, I always had the Manfrotto fluid head underneath it so that I could sit the fluid head either on my knee or on the ground, or like rested in my arms as I was filming. I tried it one game without the fluid head, and I don't think I'll ever go back. And the reason is the fluid head just adds so much freaking weight. That setup is so heavy. And with just the R5C and the 70-200 and then monitor on top, it just is so much lighter. And the R5C is actually so much better because first off, it's got full frame, so it's better in low light. I can zoom out just a little bit further so that I don't have to be so far away from everybody. And then if I want to, I can put it into the Super 35 mode, which is just the same crop factor as APS-C, or really close to. But honestly, I found myself using the full frame mode and not the Super 35 mode like 90% of the time.
I love how close I can get with this lens, dude. I'm on the Sigma 18-35, and I'm literally, my hat is touching the lens, and it can see me. That's how close you can get with this lens. That's freaking great. Let's get it. I do shoot everything in C-Log instead of just like a standard profile. The reason I do that is because I just have more color flexibility, especially with the school's colors. Whatever school I'm shooting for, I like to just bring out their school colors more in post so that the jerseys pop a little bit more, and that's way more achievable with log. Log does introduce more noise into the shadows than like a standard profile would, and so at night it's not ideal. But I've just found that when I shoot standard, I have less flexibility of, number one, bringing back the exposure, and then the color. I just have less flexibility with it, I feel. Log is controversial. I don't use it on every project, but it just makes more sense on this project to use.
Yeah, so got into the other side of the field, and they scored a touchdown when I was walking over. Nothing I could do about it. By the time I would have turned my camera on, I already missed the whole thing. Freaking sucks. Because sometimes they only score 1 or 2 touchdowns. Sometimes they score 10 in high school, but sometimes they only score 1 or 2.
So it is 42-0 right now. We can dream, right? Might be totally impossible, but my dream is that someday we can have a lens that starts at like 20 millimeter and goes to like 200. There's the Canon 24-240 right now, but it's not the L series, and it's not, it like changes apertures as you go up, and it's just a crappy lens. But like a 2.8 all the way through lens, like 20 to 250 would be phenomenal, because then I can do wide vlog talking like this, and then turn around, and then zoom in however far I need to, just like that lens does.
Touchdown, west side. We needed 2 inches. We got 29 yards into the end zone.
And it is a cream fest. We are killing them and just going to keep on.
Jaden Coates, the ball carrier.
So I'm going to get
Pushes his way ahead for 3. He'll bring up 2nd and 7.
But yeah, just a recap of like how I film sports. I tend to stay 20 to 30 yards in front of the offense so that as plays happen, they can come to me instead of like me being by the offense and then them just go and clear down the field. I use Canon cameras and then a Sigma 70-200 lens. Something that I haven't touched on yet that is actually really important to editing the videos is audio. I'll just have like an on-camera shotgun microphone. Another option is like using a lav mic or using just like the in-camera audio, which isn't wonderful. It's not terrible. It's better than having no audio of the game, because if you don't have any audio of the game, then you've got to go in and add like crowd cheers, football player hits, and all this different stuff in post, and that's tedious. So whatever you can capture on location as far as audio goes is great. The next video that I'll be doing in this football series is how I edit all of those things together. And I don't know if that'll be the exact next video on my channel, but it'll be the next video that I make about sports videos. And so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm sure there's something that I didn't talk about. So if there's something that I missed here or any questions that you've got, just put them in the comments. And then if there seems to be a recurring theme of topics that I didn't touch on, I'll be sure to put them in my next video of how I edit sports videos. So thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.
I miss my wife right now, for real. I hadn't seen her all day today. We've both been sick. I had to come here, doing the job. I love the job. I love the things I can do with video. It's so cool. But I hate being away from my wife for too long.